gorgeous, I'm the Fairy Voice Mother, and today I'm going to be reacting to and analysing, for the very first time, Courtney LaPlante of Spiritbox Rule of Nines. From Fairy Cave 3.0. Do you like it? It's the same stuff, it's just moved. So that I have more space, so that I'm not so close to you. I like being close to you, kind of like Bear in the Big Blue House. But I understand that it is maybe inappropriate for you to be able to see every pore in my face. I've been wanting to do this for a really long time. It came up a lot as a suggestion when I analysed Ginger, and I've never got around to it until today because it won our poll on Patreon this week. I'm quite curious as to what this song is going to be about, because the rule of nines is actually a way that doctors use to calculate burns on the body. I think it's like your legs are like 9%, 9%, and then here is 18%. So it's all divided into 9. So maybe it's going to be something to do with something burny. Unless it's because she's so fire. Shut up, Lolly. Oh, she's so pretty.
Okay. It's time for singing, and then some screaming.
Oh!
And then some singing and more screaming.
Yay! So casual. Like, without context, she could have been waiting for a bus. And this kind of relaxed stance with moderate energy is a really appropriate vessel to then produce the voice from, because she's tapped into more of what we call the parasympathetic nervous system, which is the rest and digest mode. So your nervous system has two modes. You've got your parasympathetic nervous system and your sympathetic nervous system. The parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest, is the mode in which you're kind of relaxing after a long day watching some YouTube. And then your sympathetic nervous system is your fight or flight response. Imagine if you just stepped in the road and you see a bus coming towards you and you're like, oh. Now, what can sometimes erroneously occur is the sympathetic nervous system takes over too much when we sing. When you're in this heightened state of fight or flight when you sing in front of a crowd, your body basically thinks you're gonna die. So you can imagine that if this sympathetic nervous system is dominant, it makes it very difficult to do anything consciously and with presence, and the vagus nerve happens to wrap around your larynx. That was a very long story, sorry about that. Being relaxed physically and making an effort to be quite nonchalant when you start to sing, your voice likes that very much. Maybe in this moment she was actually quite nervous, but by making an effort to exhibit this kind of shoulder shrugginess, she is able to slightly tame the parasympathetic nervous system for the sympathetic nervous system to be more dominant. There are a lot of ways to train the nervous system to enable your voice to come out better, and if you are interested, I won't bore you too much today, but you could request a video on it in the comments and I would love to make one because I'm into that.
I offer my life, cursed in the shrine, broken, entwined. I feel my inside breaking down, I bury it in time. I want to be part of life. Did we dance up in my mind? If that's what you like.
Ugh, it's so pretty. The
Religions will blur the light. I had a dream of schism for school of night, living in premonition, flowing from.
She's gonna scream at me in a minute, I just know it, I can feel it. So I'm just gonna talk about her clean vocal technique because it is worth discussing. Very relaxed, very balanced. She's able to go between a whisper and kind of a soft singing tone, one after the other, in time. She's able to do very delicate ascending riffs. I feel my side. Being able to cut the pitch out of the ear is very delicate and it requires a really even breath pressure. Now, she's already told us she's going to be screaming, and anyone that screams well should generally have very good breath control. So to put it into perspective, if you're trying to do these delicate breathy vocals without very good breath support, you're going to get this kind of weird cracking thing, and you're not going to be able to keep the pitch consistent. But she can. So we can also see so far that she is deliberately cutting out any access to her bottom end. The face is very lifted and the voice is very lifted as well.
If that's what you like.
Everything has got a little bit of breath in it to varying degrees. We know that that's not the singer's like true voice, which is why it gets affectionately named falsetto, because it's false. Let's have a little bit of a run up and then see what she's gonna do next.
Living in premonition, flowing from the same place I really give it. It's such a strange place, so full of opposing forces. Dream of schism, forced the rule of night. And time, I let the rules of a silence. And time, till there's nothing left to stay. Nobody
Nice.
to take from.
Oh!
It's a cruel
Oh!
I learned the rules of cities.
I don't want to stop it.
So I lay myself down in the shape of a body. I live in the figurative. I want to be part of life. Detritus open up my mind. If that's what you like, your lesions will blur the line.
I kept thinking she was gonna scream there, but she didn't. I love her.
Okay.
The quality of these screams are so divine. It's so dirty and full of rumble, but it's also so accurately placed. So let's try and break these down a little bit. The first thing we're going to talk about is her mouth position being in this very, very... Oh yeah. So this tension in the upper lip and dropping of the jaw is going to encourage the growl that she's making to resonate lower, which is going to give that impression that it's kind of two different voices, because before it was very tense in the cheek and here, and now it's her. So even if we just say something with the same pitch of these two different mouth shapes, it's going to completely change the sound. Hello, gorgeous. Hello, gorgeous. So we can hear that the tissue that she is using to make these growls is not the true vocal folds. And we can tell, this is the thing that is just exciting me so much about her, is we can tell how safe they are because of the way that she starts to onset some of the growls with an actual true vocal fold sound. We hear them come together for a second. You can hear like an ah comes before the growl. And then when she isn't introducing that little true vocal fold pitch before the growl, she's introducing the growls with a glottal stop instead. And that you're hearing before is, again, the vocal folds snapping shut together before we hear the growl. And why is that relevant? I hear you growl. When we hear that the true vocal folds have made contact, we know that the sound that we're hearing is safely bubbling above, because the way that this vocal anatomy is arranged in your neck is you've got the true vocal folds at the bottom, if you will, and then you've got what we call supraglottic structures, and these are things like the false vocal folds or vestibular folds. Then we've got the areoepiglottic folds, we've got corniculate cartilages, we've got all kinds of stuff, but it's all above these true vocal folds. So these true vocal folds are kind of like a gateway. Now, what can sometimes happen in cases of people that are growling and screaming and they're slightly hurting themselves is these true vocal folds are allowed to kind of flap together as well. Maybe that does sound cool, but the problem is if you slam these true vocal tissues together too hard, they're going to get very upset with you.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Because they're so delicate and they just want to go, they just want to close nice and gently. They can't cope with what we put our supraglottic structures through. In the case of the glottal stop, That is also the vocal folds coming together to then again lay a lovely squishy foundation for the superior flapping. It's perfect. And that's why her growls have such a consistent tone about them, is because she's laying that foundation so well. And it's also why she can then go straight into, that was a loud click, straight into singing immediately after with this delicate quality, because her vocal folds didn't have to do anything nasty. She's singing with two different voices. Therefore, that true voice, the one that she speaks and sings with, is always preserved. And that is what I want for you. So if you're ever finding that you get a scratchy feeling when you talk after you growl, then you really need to work on seeing if you can close the vocal folds first and then growl above it.
I lay myself down in the shape of a body.
We can see here how she's accessing a little bit more of that lower resonance. Now she's kind of dropped her voice down here more. If we just AV this to what she was doing in the beginning.
I offer my life to cruel world. I learned the rules of cities.
I learned the rules of a cities. Oh, there's more resonance. It sounds more like she's singing in a church as opposed to like a... And it's so ethereal. It's just gorgeous. Wow.
I want to be part of life. Detritus open up my mind.
She used that same lip movement there that she uses for the screams. Open up my... So it just goes to show that these lip movements are really just her way of directing anything she's doing around the voice area to the most desirable resonance chamber.
Your lesions will blur the line. I had a dream of schism.
It's so exciting.
Living in premonition, flowing from the same place I learned to give in. It's such a strange place, so full of opposing forces. I had a dream of schism, forced through
I did it.
Yes, you bloody well did. Oh, I'm lightheaded. That was incredible. Oh, I don't know if I can yeah, we're gonna listen to it again. The way that she was able to cut those growls off in such a staccato way and just clean, it was just like, ah!
I had a dream of schism, forced through love.
It's just everything. How long have you got? It's a super cool arrangement as well to have that scream at the same time as the drum hits and everything happens all together like a big noisy musical explosion, and then the silence. And the way that she's able to come in with such good rhythm and conviction on those stabs, it just... it's too much. You can just hear how perfectly she's arranged the pressure of cry and my. There's a little bit of resistance, then the note flows. It's the perfect balance between pressure and flow. The reason the tissues, such as the false vocal folds, will oscillate evenly or not. You can really see here how she has like two different types. It creates a completely different timbre when she extremely manipulates here this narrow chin. Yeah, If the whole is a different shape where the sound's projected out of, it's going to send a different kind of back pressure back into the voice and make it behave differently. And so when you drastically alternate the face shapes, of course, you're going to exhibit different sound qualities as well. The eye one, oh God. Oh, it just stabs you like a knife, doesn't it? She's adorable, beautiful, magical, and deeply, deeply inspirational. There's not enough good things to say about her, really. The screaming and growling are obviously depicted as harsh vocals, and this word to describe them, harsh, I think is sometimes unfair because this isn't harsh in my ears at all. This doesn't make me like, ow, you know? It's actually extremely beautiful and musical and appropriate for this composition. You know, I've been obsessed with her vocal technique today and it's kind of taken all of my focus, but this composition is brilliant. The production is very modern, really, really nicely mixed. Like the vocal harmonies that came in, just off the top of my head, there was more stuff.
So I lay myself down in the shape of a body.
But they've taken advantage of all this modern technology that we have access to without compromising musicianship and competency. There's still some beautiful playing in there. There's a very good drummer. I just love this as a composition. I think it is a brilliant, brilliant metal song. It's the kind of thing that you could show someone who's a bit on the fence. They don't know if they like metal. They don't know if it's all about, you know, Satan worshipping, whatever. You can show them this and they can see how beautiful and varied it is just in the space of one song. This song is an entirely enthralling journey that I couldn't have thought of anyone better to go on it with than you. So thank you. We have, really? Where's this pessimism coming from? Find the root of it. It's probably as painful as a root canal, to be fair, but just sitting with your pain is creating an attitude making everyone else miserable. Don't be that puffin. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. If there are any singers, beatboxers, vocal users of any kind you would like to see me analyse here, then please do let me know down below in the comments. It's always my pleasure. If you want to join us on Patreon, I would love that so much because that would mean you could vote for the performance you want me to analyse every week and join our Discord and have the best time asking anything you like. It's a good time. If you're here with me at the premiere, then big premiere hug for you. And if you're here at any other time, of course, a big hug for you too. I absolutely cannot wait to see you again in the next video. Love you loads and loads and loads. And I hope you have the best day ever. Mwah. Bye. And also analysing to, oh fuck, why do I always do that? Okay, bear in the big, that's hard to say. Does need, okay, I'm not gonna spin on the spinny chair. Oh, she is bloody good. Excessive, dangerous flapping. Let's read out, oh bloody hell, it's all the way over here now. Oh, I feel like Mr. Tickle. Oh, the weather.